Welcome to the Trading Lounge, and also welcome to the September equinox, equal day and equal night. So look, here we're looking at the the Dow Jones, and everything's going according to plan. We can see that we've got our ABC correction in there now for the A, the B and the C here for wave 4. So we should be looking for a wave 5 to the upside. So we'll keep that view as long as the 13,500, which is a midpoint between 13,000 and 14,000. So it's got that nice tested support there now, and that would be the same for the S&P 500 as well. And in most, this is a 4-hour chart here, just looks a bit smaller, but once again the A, the B and the C, and as long as the 1450 stays in place, then we've got potential to the upside. If they break to the downside, then it slightly creates some overlapping wave structures. Well, if it does down here, so that's not such a good thing, and we'll have to take a bearish bias at that point there. So most of the indices are like this, including the Australian and the DAX and so forth, but also currencies are in the same sort of bundle as well. As you know, the US dollar was doing basically the same in the opposite direction, so that should also be complete as well. But we don't really have confirming price action to the upside here yet as an impulse wave for that to confirm that just yet. So it's a little bit iffy, but as it stands, it's fine. So looking at the European markets, we've got the DAX here. It's got its own, it's a 2-hour chart. It's got its own little sort of corrective pattern under the 74 there. But if that's correct, then we should be making new highs above here. So obviously waiting for support on the 74 has been the main aim through here. Of course, you can move into it earlier, but it just depends on what degree of structure that you're trading and what you're trying to achieve. The FTSE would be the same as well in its own way. We've got this now, we've got the A, the B and the C here for a wave 4, but it's a little bit dodgy because it's come down and had overlapping wave structures through here. So it's in a bit of a different kettle of fish here, but it does have that 3-wave correction through here. Long as that low stays into place, it must push up from there. So finding support either on the midpoint 50 here or on the 72 for the next trade would be a better bet, a safer bet, finding the 72 as support there. The Australian market's the same as well. As you can see here, it's also got its 3-wave pattern across the 4,400 here. So it should make new high, so we can shift that. I should have shifted that over there, but that's okay. But once again, it needs to have support on the 4,400 there. That's what you'd be looking for. In the weekly cycle, everything's sort of going according to plan in terms of the bullish weekly cycle. We're looking for Wednesday making the new high in the week, which it did. Well, Tuesday was profit taking. Wednesday is a V-shaped day too, but more pronounced, making the new high for the week. And then Thursday's a bear day, and then Friday and Monday should be up with profit taking on Tuesday. Now, I'm a little bit concerned about that because we've got this strong volume point through here, but I'm not too worried about it because it never made new lows here, and the influence was, of course, the PMI figures coming out of China, and that was the reaction last night too in the US markets, being down quite strong on the opening through here, and even some of the markets sort of gapping down through here in smaller time frames, but basically dropping. The Dow dropped about 72 points, and then it's recovered. So to complete that ABC there. So the metals are a bit softer. The indices are a little bit softer, and as they close a bit higher. As the market's still trading, but but look, it's on track. Let's have a look at the commodities and then the currencies. Okay, looking at copper here, base metals, it basically has the same pattern as the indices. As you can see, we've got that 3-wave pattern through here, so we're looking at that being corrective pattern through here, and we'll be looking for new highs to be made as well. However, as I mentioned, we do need to see confirming price action to the upside there, and this movement up through here can also be corrective. So we could see another move down through here first. So we're not that convinced on that just yet, but it's certainly got the bias to the upside. Just have a look at BHP here in the US. Yeah, it's pretty much the story because falling out of bed here because of the China figures and now recovering as well. So let's see what volume comes in for that recovery there. But this pattern as it stands here is corrective and should push to the upside. And the gold market's the same as well. This is just the 1 hour chart here. It's got that corrective pattern across this level here. But as mentioned before, well, as always, we wouldn't go long unless you've had support on the 72. But coming back up here and actually getting back into group 2 here is a positive. It's certainly facing supply through here. So even if this does move up through here, it still needs to come back and sit on there. Do you know what I mean? So it really needs to sort of sit there and then find support. So a little bit like this here, it's moved up through here. It's moved up, it's reacted, come back, and then it's made its little move up through there. So then you would be looking at taking that high out through here to go long there. So that's the kind that movement up there. So that's the kind of thing that you're looking through here as well. So just wait for that. Silver's in the same boat as well. The same patterns. Everything's just following each other. So it's all pretty simple except for oil's doing its own thing, and it's on its way down. We've been looking for a little wave 4 to come back in, and that's coming back in now. So it's not quite finished, but we'll see how that goes. If it finds support on top of group 1 here, 93, then it's got a positive aspect to it at that stage, and then we'll have to look higher as a retest to the 95 where the supply comes in, but that would be extending the wave 4 a little bit too much. So would need to sort of reassess the situation that way, restructure the wave count. But as it stands at the moment, we're looking for this move to the downside, and it's still got to sit into the 90 here. Okay, let's have a look at currencies. Okay, the US dollar here is doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's also pulling back for its wave 4 as well. It's a little bit small on the daily here, but that's okay. We can run with that. It could still push higher through here, and we'll explore that in a moment. But everything's pretty much on track here. So normally it comes back and retests the channel line. That's why I've left that in there. If it's not this channel line, it would be one in the center here. So if you found a centered channel line in here, then that would be it there as well. This is the little wave 4 here, pushing back into retesting the supply, which starts just in here. So that's about right there, and also retesting the 80 here as well. But it may be complete where it is, so we drill into that a little bit further through here. And as you know, we've been tracking this little structure to the upside, and it's a little bit more complete now, as you can see. So it's got the a little A, B, and C for the A wave that we're tracking, and then we were looking for the B wave that came into place, and now we've got the C wave here, which we were looking to be the distance for the A wave, and the C wave has normally got some sort of relationship into it. So we look at that sort of area up there, but then once we've got the general sort of idea of the proportions and ratios, then you just look towards where the volume is, and it's obviously in here, and then you obviously look for, well, what price points do we have in there, and then you work it into that point. So you can see that the subgroup 2 there has really sort of nailed it quite nicely there. And what we do need to see down now is that this movement down through here, the same as in stock to the upside, is just in 3 waves really. So we don't have that 5 waves. We don't have that impulse wave to the downside. If we do get the impulse wave to the downside, the 5-wave structure, then because we got 5 waves in a different direction, then that means that we'll get another 5 waves after a little counter trend. So we'll get 5, 3, and 5 to come in through there. So yeah, so it's all sort of on track there. So if this is the turning point here, that means that the indices that we've just been looking at would also be, have their lows in place and be pushing to the upside, and then this would reflect back into currencies as well. So when we have a look at currencies, looking at the euro first, the what we're looking for here at this level here is also a wave 4 as well, and it does bug me a little bit that it's actually a bit small. I can see the potential for the US dollar just to complete its way forward and move to the downside, but I don't know, this 130 here, yes, I just see, it's just, I just normally expect a larger correction after such a strong move. So yes, we can put that wave 4 there and complete that, and looking up for a wave 5 straight through up here. But I just think that we should be mindful of a more complex correction occurring through this level through here, in terms of something of this nature here at, sort of at minimum really at something like this here, before we see a push to the upside, at least a sort of a larger 3-wave swing, because there is a lot of there is a lot of supply sitting in here in group 1, so it's going to be sort of, we need to chip away at that supply there until it's overrun. So it's just worth keeping that in mind. But looking at this particular correction coming down here, we are looking for an equal swing, the equal swing above to the equal swing below, which is not quite equal, but it should suffice if that is going to be completed there. But we just need to be careful that we could still get another leg down here, because the distance above here is 1 full point plus, and plus. So one full point is at 129. So it can still come down through here, but it does count as being completed also through here. So we just need to be a little bit mindful of that. If we drill in there a little bit closer, we can see that there's a few legs to this move to the downside. That's the top there. So we're looking at this little 5-wave structure coming down through here. So we've got, well, look, from this point here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to here. So that's the 3rd wave. And from here, we've got wave 1, wave 2, and that's the 3rd wave there. So we've got 4th and 5th here. So we should be seeing something up here. So it just depends how you count this larger structure here, and there's a couple of ways to count it. I won't go into it, but as you can imagine, we do need, any long trades would need the 72 as support from this point to go long, and any longer term traders would need the 130 there, and if that's the case. So this could be the low of the wave 4. Otherwise, we would be looking at, as I mentioned just a moment ago, we'd be looking for some swings to the upside, somewhere in amongst all this here, as such. And then another swing to the downside through here, checking in for support again, and then having another crack at the supply to the upside through there. So that larger correction across the 130 is really sort of on the cards at that stage there. Just want to have a little look in through here. Yeah, it's developing nicely, but as you can see, it's still in, it's still in 3 waves to the upside. We still need to see that this one here is the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 to here. So a pull back down into here, and then another move up through there would give us 5 waves. So it's on the right track, so it's all good. The Australian dollar as well. It's, as you know, this is just the daily chart here. Same thing again as well. We've had the swing above, the overshoot pattern to the above, and we've had an equal move to the downside now. So I'm happy about that. Now, we can either just go straight up from here, or we would also be seeing a larger swing across the 105 here, like I just mentioned with the euro. So down to like an A, a B to here, and a C to here, and then getting up through here. I mean, there's going to be trouble anyway getting through the 105 and so forth as well, but just to sort of put that picture there. So the solid support on 105 would be sort of critical at this point, so at that point when it comes. So now the move that we've had down so far can be counted as an A, B, C and finished, but once again, as same with the indices and the other markets, we've only got 3 waves up, which is corrective, which means that it can certainly come back down through here. We don't have the evidence of the move to the upside just yet, so and that's the case. So what can you do? You just got to kind of wait for it. But once again as well, there's a time and place to be in the market. So, we are navigating through a corrective pattern through here. And once again, too, this corrective pattern has got choices. It could go straight up from here, and that would be fine. And then we'd be looking to, get support on here. But the other side of the coin, too, is, as I just mentioned as well, it can move up through to here and then have another move back down through to here to give it a sort of a larger ABC three-wave swing before it moves to the upside. So we should be able to work it out once this is matured somewhat here. So we need to see a nice 5-wave structure through to here, a little 3-wave back, and then we get back in and move to the upside. So there is time, but we're just exploring the possibilities. That's the important thing. So that's really it in a nutshell. Just to sort of recap a little bit, we do feel that the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones have completed their wave 4 structures and will be pushing to the upside. The weekly bullish cycle, if we're going to stay on track, would see Friday close stronger in Australia, and if that's the case, then we would also see Monday close higher as well. But of course, we would need the Dow Jones to be in line with that too on the Friday, so that needs to be up as well. Yeah, that's that. On another note as well, we are just starting up another little sort of website, and what we're going to do is we're going to just put traders' stories out there, and we're looking for stories. We want real stories. We want the struggle of the human element and how one's travelled through their own path. So we're looking for stories that would be about a sort of 500 or 2,000 words sort of long, and there's the person that we're doing it with is Eva Diaz, and she's a financial writer, and she may be interviewing you. You don't have to use your real name. It's nice if you do. If in doing this, there's two positives for doing it. The first positive is that it's good for yourself to write your own story out, even if you don't send it through to us. It's nice to, if you write your own journey out, how you've, how much money that you've lost or made. And, most traders lose money. So that's the kind of thing. Your stories will help other people. And we're looking for real stories, so not sort of looking for glamour sort of stories, and it doesn't matter how well it's written. We will give you a month free on the Trading Lounge as a little bit of a bonus, but I do feel it's good for yourself to write out your own story, how you've got to where you are, because it just gives you a nice perspective for yourself. But your story, and you don't have to put your real name to it, but it will help other people as well in their journey as well. So it'll be helping yourself, it'll be helping others as well. So but we'll put this offer out in writing over the weeks ahead, but if you'd like to give it some thought in the meantime, we would really appreciate anyone's story that they're willing to share. Yeah, alrighty, well, have a great weekend, and good luck. Cheers.